know if you saw the fly that was flying around earlier in one of the previous videos, but it caught my eye and it probably caught yours if you saw it. And why did it do that? Why did you see the fly? Why did I see the fly? Because the fly was moving. It was flying around in front of our faces. It was almost impossible to miss it, which is why when it comes to cover designs, movement is so important, because that fly got our attention because it moved in front of our faces. You ever see a dog just chilling, and as soon as you stand up to move, they instantly turn towards you because you're about to move? Movement is key when it comes to book cover designs. Movement is key to attract attention. And how do you implement movement in your design? Well, let's say we have two book covers. They're both going to feature a rocket. We can have the title here and a small subtitle here, and then we can have the rocket like that. I can't draw rockets, but you get what I want about. This is a little rocket. Now, this cover doesn't have any movement. Why? Because the rocket is just standing there or sitting there, or whatever rockets do when they're not moving. But if we want to implement movement in our book cover design, we can take this rocket and give it action. What do I mean by this? We can have the same title, same subtitle, but this time turn the rocket sideways. And let's make sure these little fin things go off the cover. And let's make sure the rocket is on. So now that there's movement, this is a more interesting and more visually appealing cover. Why? Because everything is not so static. This is moving in a diagonal direction, but this is just sitting there. And this rocket, you know is moving, first because it's diagonal, and secondly because the flames are on. So there's movement in the image. Your brain can imagine the movement of the rocket. And the same applies for other covers as well. If you're doing a book about dancing, if your book is about dancing, the main image on your cover is not going to be a random guy just standing there like that. Is obviously probably going to be a guy dancing, or a girl dancing, or a kid dancing. But you want to make sure they're in the rhythm, they're moving. You want to get the person to imagine a movement once they see the cover. So same rule applies. If you're doing a dog training book, you're not going to have a dog just sitting there. You're probably going to have a dog jumping, because if the dog is jumping, there's more movement and it makes for a more interesting cover. Movement is super key, because movement attracts attention, and attention is exactly what you want when it comes to your book cover. So take a look at your book covers and see, do you have any book covers that are really static and you can add some movement on? Or if you're publishing a brand new book, take a look at it and see, can I apply some movement to my cover? How can I apply some movement to my cover? Because movement is going to get the attention that you need.